Hello, everyone. Mr. D here with this week's wellness update. Today is Friday, January the 19th, 2024. So usually I do these on Mondays. So if there'll be one back to back or one next week, we really can't tell. But I will divulge that my weight has been going well, um, down to about 333.2 this morning. So that definitely is a 333 or 332 point. I'll have to check the numbers exactly, but and I will share them at the end of this video. But I just wanted to say, it's been a lot ride this past week, and now, I'm starting to realize more and more that things are really working out for themselves, are really working better, keeping on program, all of those things. They all work better in the end. And doing what you're supposed to do is another thing that really helps me at least keep better in my end. If I keep doing what I'm doing, if I take my medicine and practice good mental health self-care, then I want to go to the gym and I want to do things. Now, granted, this week has not been the best of weeks to go to the gym, and it's been very cold weather and there's been cancellations, windy storms, so I haven't been there in a week. And I do plan on going once the weather breaks, probably Sunday, Monday. I'm not real sure, but we'll update you on that later. But I know it's a struggle sometimes, and not being mentally well does not keep me in that place. So I think that is just something that I just need to realize and accept and just be a part of and understand that I must take care of myself for all reasons. And beside the fact of just um, not wanting to care for myself and knowing that I need to care for myself, even despite what I may or may not believe. Now, part of that is keeping a routine as much as possible. And I know sometimes we can't be flexible we have to be flexible about things, but there are things that you have to be concrete about. And that is including making sure that you go to bed at a certain hour, take your meds at a certain time, things like that, making sure things are in place and followed and ensued. So, I think that's just a big thing for me that I have to realize myself, along with the eating, along with the reduction of beverages, which has been another great thing that's happened this week. All of these things are happening this week and for good reasons. So now that I'm finally, I think part of me with being well and learning in the long term is the fact that, we must do things every day, not only because we're working, not only because we're going somewhere or think we can get away with things. It's the fact that we must do it every day and for the right reasons, despite thinking we can just do this or do that or do the other thing. It is understanding that you have to do what you need to do to be well. And that's every day, regardless of whether you're tired or you're not. And also recognizing that if you are tired, you take the extra care that you need in order to be well and take care of yourself. It may seem hard, it may seem challenging, and it may seem confusing, but you know, it's part of life and it's part of understanding what you need to do and how you need to do it. Um, it's just all about, that. Um, so it's all about, understanding and accepting things for what they are, but knowing that they are needed every day, regardless of what function or what you're going through. You need them every day. And I think that was a big thing that had to open my eyes into seeing it and understanding it, was that I have to do it every day and that no matter what, it needs to be done. And part of what needs to be done, knowing that it needs to be done, is adhering to as much as a routine as I can and sticking to that routine, not trying not to follow, working on not following it and not understanding it is a different thing. And it can't be done that way. It just can't. It's not going to work out that way if it is. So I think that's the important thing about it, and understanding and accepting that for what it is. Um, it's not easy all the time, but I do it, and it does well, and it works when it works. When it works well, you just see the complete difference of yourself. You can do so much more But then the recovery of getting back on your feet is a harder part because you're missing out on so much because you have to recharge yourself so much. And I think that's the hard part about it too, is that you have to realize that you have to understand and accept it for what it is, but yet um, you just don't you don't it's hard to understand. And I think if I hadn't ever got on that path, I would have never had that temptation or had that feeling. But I know now I have to get back into that place and into that understanding and into that acceptance part of it. So that's just where it has to be, and where it, has to understand, and where that falls within. It's not easy sometimes when we have to do things that we don't want to do, but they're necessary for our well-being, even though we may not think they are. It's just kind of challenging and kind of hard to understand that things are necessary in life. And if 2024 is going to be my word of the year, wellness, then I must adhere to all of it. But I think for me right now, I'm understanding and accepting that all is needed to be well and all is needed to be understood in order for it to work properly. It's not just a bit and piece and here a day and not a day and moving all around. It's not any of that. Any of that is not well. Any of that is not understanding. It's just how it is. And coming to terms with that and accepting that for what it is just something that I've needed to do for a very, very, very long time. And it just so many things are better when you can do things and understand things and accept things for what they are and understand that things are so much better when you take care of yourself and not being all over the place or having the episodes that you're having because you're not taking care of yourself. And I think seeing it in action is another thing too, because if you're seeing yourself having more issues when you're not taking care of yourself or not following, things that you need to do, you're seeing these issues arise or your life being more challenging, then it is going to be more challenging, but accepting that, you see that even when it's all the time, you need to take care of yourself all the time. That's all it is. And it's plain and simple, it's clear and simple. Um, you know, but we're dealing with things. So that's how it is. And that's how, we have to accept things as part of what it is, even though it's hard to accept. And we've known it for decades. It's been known for decades to work. It's been known to be a part of what is needed. So that is what it needs to be. It's part of understanding and have that sense of reality and having that cordial sense of understanding that that's what it has to be. Whether I like it or not, that's just part of what it is. And I think we could fight things. They're not really that bad and they're not really that hard, but it's just understanding, that is what it, if it's helping you and you can tell a difference from when it's not helping you or you're not yourself and you see that in that light and you know that in that light, then why would you not do what was needed to take care of yourself? I think, just understanding and accepting it for real, and knowing that it needs to be an everyday thing and not a sporadic thing, and not only when you think you need it, but always when you need it is a big thing. So with that being said, I just want to focus on that so much today because I think that is just the biggest part of what it could be and how it could be and how things really really boil in my brain and understanding that I am doing so much better when I take care of myself and I accept everything that I need to do, whether I like it or not. Whether that means having an early bedtime and an early rise, anything like that. I think it's so much that it needs to be understood and accepted. I think that just, understands that that is how it is, and how life is. And sometimes we don't like the way that life is, but we have to accept it, even though we may not like it. But if we have to do adult responsibilities, then that is what it has to be. That is what is has to be accepted. And sometimes as people, we become impulsive and we don't want to accept what it is, but it is what it is, and therefore you must accept it, even though you don't like it or you don't agree with it. Sometimes you just don't understand, what does that mean? How do you feel about yourself, and how do you, get back from the past? Yes, those things of the past were those things of the past, but they were learning experiences, and they continue to be learning experiences as I do not do what is needed. But I need to understand that there has to be a reality of understanding the importance of having to do things and why we do those things and why they're necessary in life. So, with that being said, I want to thank you for listening today. I know I went on a little bit about one thing, but it is one thing that is important, and taking care of you and yourself matters. And if 2024 is going to be the word of the year, it's going to be wellness, and wellness needs to be put into line. So I want to thank you for listening, and have a good day, and take care of yourself.